Hello, Bella Vista. JB Portello here with In the Know, and here is my friend Tom Judson. How you doing?
I'm doing great.
Yeah.
Doing great.
You know, we had a very well attended, which I like, board meeting the other night. We had lots of folks there.
Yeah, probably 40, 50 people, which is outstanding.
It is, it is. So you want to go over what happened?
Well, the main things were two projects that were up for consideration, and I'm pleased to say that both were approved. The one is for the Kingsdale Clubhouse, and we're going to be completely renovating that building. It needs a lot of work. It hasn't been renovated in a long, long time. We did the balcony more recently, but the rest of it really needs some work. Bathrooms need work and so forth. So we're actually going to reduce the size of the pro shop. We're calling it right sizing. It's just too big right now. We're going to shift that space over to the restaurant. Now the restaurant is going to be barbecue. We're going to open that up. Our plan is to open the 4th of July next year. It'll be open 7 days a week for lunch and dinner. And we're going to call it BV65.
And why?
Because Bella Vista was founded in 1965.
There you go.
So we're kind of paying homage to our history.
I was a junior in high school. What were you, in kindergarten?
Not yet.
Okay. Anyway, that's great, and I'm really glad we're tying it together with the history of Bella Vista, keeping that going.
And if you want to see the whole presentation, go online to our website, and you can see the entire presentation. You can see all the artist renditions of everything, and you get a lot more information. The second project is the Tanyard Creek Practice Center, and we're going to completely actually build a new building. The old one is just been cobbled together 3-4 times over the decades, and is just not meeting our needs. And so we're going to build a new building. It's going to have 2 teaching bays. It's going to have a larger pro shop. So what our goal is to do one-stop shopping at that location, because right now it's so small we can only sell clubs equipment, and then we're sending them down the road to the country club to get shoes and shirts and everything else, and by the time they're in the car and driving away, they're probably going to get it on Amazon.
Yeah, exactly.
So we want one-stop shopping, make it easier on our members. In addition to a larger pro shop, we're going to have a simulator where you can play golf in an hour in the dead of winter. It's going to be fun. We're going to have a bar that'll overlook the driving range, so you can have a beverage of your choice and make fun of your buddy when they're hitting balls. So we plan on starting that in November, and it will be done in September of next year. Key point here is when we close in November, and we don't have the exact date yet, we're going to be closed the duration. So you're going to have to practice either at Highlands or at Scottsdale.
And there's a very good reason for that, because everything you're doing is going to take a while.
Yes. And we're going to have a new practice putting green. It's going to be about 30% larger than the existing one. We're going to have and that's going to be dedicated to putting. We're going to have a chipping green with sand bunkers. So you're going to really be able to work on your game. The landing area, which if you've gone out to Tanyard Creek recently, you see that it's nothing but rock in the midsection. We're going to fix that also. So it's really going to be a state-of-the-art center that we can all be proud of.
Absolutely. Well, and sounds to me like, just my opinion, but both of those, those are kind of the last 2 things that haven't been upgraded.
We've done Lake Point, the Country Club, Branchwood. We've done a little bit of work up at Highlands. And in November, we're going to be finishing up the Gear Garden. In November, we're going to finish up the Rec, BVRC. So we've stepped through all the buildings, and you're right, these are by and large the last 2 that really need a lot of work.
And they'll be revenue generators.
Yeah, we anticipate that merchandise revenue is going to go up. The number of buckets of balls is going to go up. And we're really going to be able to service our membership. We're going to be really proud of the place.
Absolutely. Well, I'm excited. And I know it's hard to wait. I mean, waiting on the Rec has been difficult, but boy, is it going to be nice. I think you had a final tour.
Yeah,
recently?
we had a tour on the 26th, so just a little bit of a week ago, and we had 150, 200 people. I think it was our most attended tour. It went very well. People are getting really excited. We're getting really close. We're going to do one more virtual tour. So we'll have one of our guys go around with a camera, show you and everything, and then it's going to open up in November. Now people keep on asking when November, and I keep on saying in the month of November at some point we're going to open. But
this year.
Oh yeah, it's going to be here. Hopefully earlier November, but we're very comfortable with November. We had hoped that we would be open in October because October is the 50th anniversary of the opening of the building.
Yes.
So we wanted to be open in October. We missed it by a month.
You know, one of the things that everybody that I've talked to or heard about, the most thing that they're excited about the rec is the 24-hour access to.
Yeah, it's going to be cool.
Yeah.
That's going to be cool. I don't know why you want to work out at 2 o'clock in the morning, but you go for it.
Absolutely.
Go for it.
Absolutely. Now, the only workout I do at 2:30 in the morning is usually on a computer writing something, and that doesn't count, does it?
My workout is rolling over.
Okay. All right. Now, I know that you guys in particular, the POA is very good about awarding or recognizing people that contribute a great deal to the community. So I'm very excited about your event that's coming up, the Trailblazers Appreciation Event.
It's this Sunday, the 8th, October 8th at 4 p.m. at the Gear Garden. We're going to recognize the Trailblazers. They've done so much for our community, over 100 miles worth of soft surface trails. It's going to start at 4. It's going to go 4 to 6, and at 5 o'clock, we're going to do a group photo. We're going to get everybody together. We're going to do we're going to get someone on a ladder so we can take a big overhead and get a nice picture. 20% of all sales that day will go to trail maintenance. So you're helping what the trails are all about. Now, parking is going to be limited.
Oh, it is, yes. So
we're encouraging everybody to ride their bike in or hike in because parking's going to be just slammed. So that's what Allison and I, my wife Allison and I, are planning on going. We're gonna park. We're gonna make a nice afternoon out of it. Ride in, get a beer, and support Trailblazers.
Oh, that's awesome. Really is. They deserve so much, and they will continue to do things for us. We'll see them way into the future.
So I'm going to spring something on you that you weren't expecting. So I'm going to give you some statistics.
Okay, please.
And then I'm going to ask you an impossible question to answer.
I will have an impossible answer.
Okay, so in 2016, the median home that sold in median homes, of all the homes that were sold, 2016, the median price was $149,900. Okay. In 23, year to date, the median is $338,000. That's an increase of 126% over a 7-year period. That's an increase of $188,000 on average. Some homes are smaller, it's going to be go up less, and some homes are bigger, they're going to go up more, and so forth. So here's the impossible question. Now, some of that increase is Walmart, J.B. Hunt, Tyson Foods, the strength of Northwest Arkansas, all that's going on in the area. The economy's been, pretty good also. But how much of that increase is because of the POA and all the buildings that we've renovated? We've worked with the city and the Trailblazers to put in all the trails. So how much of that is because of the POA?
Well, the first thing I would like to say is, how are you ever going to measure that in real dollars?
You can't.
You
can't. It's an impossible question.
But you're right, though. Think about all the amenities and the fact that they've come from, some of them really in desperate need, to where we are today.
Well, I think of it this way. 2016, Lake Point had been boarded up for, at that point, 5-6 years.
Yes.
That does not help property values.
No.
You know, now it's a vibrant location. The restaurant's doing great. So let's say of that $188,000 increase, let's say a third of it is because of the POA.
I would like to think more, but let's say that.
Let's say a third.
Is this a game we're playing here?
Sure.
Okay.
It's an impossible. Nobody can answer this
Okay,
question.
okay.
You know. But let's say it's a third.
Okay.
That means you take a third, which is about $62,000. You times almost 16,000 homes. That's $1 billion in real estate value that has been created over the last 7 years.
And that's a very conservative number.
Let's
that
cut it in half.
third.
Let's call it $500 million.
Yeah.
Let's cut it another
There
half
you go.
again.
There you go.
$250 million because the POA is investing in our community, doing all these great things. Tanya Creek is,
Yep.
Kingsdale, and all the other things that we've done. The Trailblazers, all the, working with them, the city, and so forth. It's a team effort.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of different factors in. Absolutely. Walmart, JB Hunt, Tyson, they are probably the lion's share of the increase, but we have part of that.
Yes, you do.
And that's pretty impressive.
That is something to be very proud of.
Yeah.
Thank you for asking me that impossible question. Some of the best things that happen are not measurable.
Mm-hmm.
They really aren't. And I don't know about you, but I'm pretty proud to live here in Bella Vista.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too.
Anything else you'd like to talk about?
No, I'm not going to spring
today?
anything else out.
Good, because you scare me when you do that. Anyway, all right, so we're going to take a break, and Tom and I will be back next month. But in the meantime, we have another guest for you. Be right back. And we're back. I have another really fabulous person to introduce you to today. Her name is Erin Pierson. Erin, you're the secretary for the MAC department.
Yes, I am.
What is a MAC?
So actually, that's a good question. MAC stands for Maintenance and Construction. And underneath that umbrella, Mike Taggart is our director. And we have the Grounds Maintenance Department, the Lakes and Parks Department, Heavy Equipment Operations, Vehicle Maintenance, HVAC, and Facility Maintenance.
So when do you sleep?
There is a lot. We don't. And we're available all the time. Most of us are. So,
Yeah.
and the funny thing about it, or the thing that's crazy to me about our division, is that amongst Mike and his superintendents, there's over 200 years of experience with the Vista POA. Just him and his superintendents, and that blows my mind.
So in that vein, how long have you been in your position?
I am the baby of the MAC division. I looked it up yesterday, so I have 7 years and 5 months. And Rick Eccles has 7 years and 8 months. So he's beaten me by 3 months.
Well, not much, not much.
No.
I didn't even realize you'd been here that long. That's fabulous.
Yes, I started out in membership, but I've been with MAC for 7 years.
So you've been with the POA much longer then?
No, I was only with membership for
A little
few
while.
months.
Okay. Okay, so what do you do? What's your day like?
So, well, you've seen Forrest Gump, right?
Yes.
Life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. That is MAC life, especially pertaining to the phone calls. But right now, it's budget season for everybody, as you probably know. So the biggest thing that I do to help budget presentations for our guys is to call the utility companies, vendors, see if there's going to be increases, things like that. And then I also just put out the propane bid for the POA for 2024. We pre-buy 45,000 gallons and we get the bid in September so that it can go into the budget for everyone.
So you're a budget researcher?
Yes, yes. And then the other thing I have going on right now is the auction, which is next weekend. So,
yeah. So what calls do you get if it wasn't budget time? What kind of things do you have to answer?
The ones that are handled with MAC are mostly related to common property kind of questions. We have our common property committee, which is made up of Mike and Doug, and we get calls. They could be a complaint. Somebody threw, a dumping site onto common property, and we've got to put it on the tour and go out and review it and then come up with a plan of action there. Or it could be a request. Somebody wants to, clear underbrush on common property. Well, they have to have permission from the POA to do anything. So they'll put that on the tour and go out and look and make sure that it's okay for somebody to do something like that. We get calls about buying common property. That's just a hard no on that one. That's no. Hunting on common property, trees on common property, just a lot of common property calls.
Okay.
But my favorite calls are actually ones that don't belong to the POA.
Oh!
And the reason that I like those is our mission and our goal is to enhance the lives of our members, and customer service is key.
Yes.
People in Bella Vista are confused a lot with the different entities that there are. There's the City of Bella Vista, the POA, the ACC, there's the Townhome Association, there's Cooper. I mean, the calls could go anywhere, and I think, especially with our 200 years plus of experience over in that, we catch them all. So I just do my best when somebody has a call and they don't know who it is that they need to be speaking to educate them. This is what the city does. This is what the POA does. This is what the ACC does. I get permit questions, and I, send those to the ACC or the city, depending on what they are. Code enforcement calls. My neighbor's dog is barking all night long. Who do I call? Those kinds of things. I had a call this morning that just wanted to know if it was possible to trick or treat in Bella Vista, or did we have to go to a trunk or treat.
How did you answer that?
I made a couple calls just to make sure. It seemed like an unusual call. I live here and my kids have trick or treated in Bella Vista, but no one's ever asked before. So do your due diligence, ask the questions, and then, give the member an answer. So that's what I did. Nobody has any rules against trick or treating, and you're allowed to do that in Bella Vista.
Okay. Okay.
So.
Yeah, but I do know there are an awful lot of trunk or treats, and the churches do some safe things, and the business associations putting on some things. So there's you don't have to worry so much in Bella Vista about trick or treating, I don't think.
This is true.
Yeah.
This is
well,
true.
I am really glad that you have the experience and I think the personality to research and find out the answers instead of just saying something.
Exactly. I genuinely want to help people who call in and
Absolutely.
get them pointed in the right direction. So,
okay, so you are, you mentioned earlier that something about an auction?
yes. So every year, other than 2020 due to COVID, for I think well over 20 years, the POA has put on an auction. It's usually in the fall, and we use Larry Barnes auction services. So my job with the auction is to get with all of the other departments within the POA, see what items they might have to sell. I have to determine if it's enough to warrant having an auction.
Yes.
And then once we do that, we get all of the paperwork together. If there's vehicles involved, there's going to be a title and a bill of sale, and I'm responsible for all of that. This year, we're coordinating with the city of Bella Vista, so there'll be some items that the city is putting into the auction as well. And then once the auction's over, I allocate it all out to the departments that put the items in. So if you put something in the auction, I'm the one that's going to tell you how much it sold for. So
wow, you have a fun job.
that is a very fun part of the job for sure.
Yeah, and just everything you do is, I think they need to give you a cape or something.
Well, thank you.
Well, seriously, it's nice to have folks that you can count on to give you, like I say, straight answers, and you seem to really enjoy doing what you do.
I do, and I love the people that I work with, and that's a big part of it.
So let's tell everybody about the auction, when it is, what they need to do. Let's just, where can they find out about it?
Sure. So like I said, the auction will be held at 51 Huntley. That's the MAC, or Maintenance and Construction. That's our main facility. It's going to be this Saturday at 10 a.m. The gates will open a little prior to that so that you can come and kind of look over the items that there are for sale. We do, I believe, have a link on our website to the flyer for the auction. And it usually takes just a couple of hours depending on how much we have. There are a couple of vehicles this year, some equipment, and like I said, we are coordinating with the city, and they have a few items as well. So it'll be a fun time, and there's usually snacks and food and things like that, and a lot of families come. So if you're looking for something to do Saturday at 10 a.m., come on over to the POA auction.
Well, as always, I get so excited when I get to meet everybody that does all these incredible things. So thank you for what you do.
Thank you so much for having me.
You betcha. We will be back next month with a surprise guest. There'll be Tom too, but we'll have a surprise guest. See you then.